It is so rare for us to get something like this. So rare for a video game developer to publish numbers, statistics, and so much more like Arc System Works just did with their Guilty Gear survey. Hey everyone, my name is Globku, and if you guys remember back when Guilty Gear Strive had its open beta, or was it? It was a closed beta, wasn't it? Yeah, I think I got a code for that. Closed beta. They also put out a feedback survey asking players what they thought, and let's just say feedback was not very positive on a couple of things. From the online lobbies all the way down to some gameplay mechanics. Criticism was a bit hard in spots, and we did cover it on the channel as well, giving our own feedback. And now the results of the survey have come back, and not every company does this. When you put out some numbers like this, sometimes you are exposing yourself, you're making yourself vulnerable to criticism, because if you take a survey and you read on Twitter, oh, no one liked the online lobby, and then the online lobby is the same, they can always just say, nah, survey said it was fine. Maybe you are just following the wrong people on Twitter. This just gives you the definite proof of, no, this is what players said, this is what we heard, and this is also them responding to it. And this is apparently only the first part of this series that they're making. They're calling this the developer's backyard, and they're gonna have another one next week and another one 2 weeks from now. I really commend Arc System Works for the communication channel they've opened up here with the community, and today we're gonna break down what the survey has said and what their response is to every issue that we had with the game. And before we jump into it, if you guys didn't know, I stream on Twitch every Tuesdays and Thursdays. We also hold some tournaments every other Saturday, and Guilty Gear is very much a game on my radar. Actually, we held a Guilty Gear tournament just this past Saturday. So if you're a fan of fighting games like me and you'd like to watch some matches and maybe run some sets, join me on Twitch every Tuesdays and Thursdays, link down below. First piece of relevant info in this report is that 95% of survey participants answered that they've played Guilty Gear games before. This was very surprising to me, as Guilty Gear Strive is lined up to being a new entry in the series, a different kind of entry. I was expecting a lot of new players to come into Guilty Gear. 95% have already played a Guilty Gear title before. Is not a good number. Of course, the numbers can be different at launch. Only the most dedicated fans were actually applying to get a closed beta key and then answering the survey on top of that. But still, 95%, that number is huge. I was expecting a lot smaller. 54 answered that Guilty Gear is their favorite fighting game franchise, which I think also kinda supports that theory. Most used character, Soul Bad Guy, followed by Kai Kisuke and Mei, not surprising in the slightest. And then, very interesting, the most requested characters. Who do the people want to see in Guilty Gear? Up next, we got Japan with Bridget leading the request, followed by Johnny and Ram Lethal. North America says Baiken, Johnny, and Dizzy. Asia says Baiken, Johnny, and Dizzy. Europe says Baiken, Johnny, and Dizzy. Get your stuff together, Japan. Come on. If anything, this just says, yes, Baiken is definitely coming to the game. There's no way they can ignore the rest of the world. Where's Baiken in Japan? Number 7? Come on. Come on. I noticed that there's also a lack of Sin Kisuke in Asia and Europe. Also Japan. America was the only one who voted for Sin. And even then, it's at number 8. Kind of like Sin, not gonna lie. But yes, Baiken, Johnny, those are the ones I voted for as well. Is Leo in here? No, not a single soul voted for Leo. Alright, no Leo. But yeah, Baiken dominating this portion of the survey. Baiken has to be confirmed. Evo announcement, maybe? Let's get to the important parts. The evaluations for each aspect of Guilty Gear Strive. On a scale from 1 to 5, the battle system got a 3.7, character visuals 4.9, character animations 4.8, original soundtrack or music a 4.7, online lobbies 1.7, ouch, user interface or HUD design 2.5, oof, and online matches 2.8. Basically, everything that is graphics, animation, soundtrack got really good scores. Battle system, and then everything else is just boo. What's really interesting about this developer behind the scenes look is that they're not just showing the statistics, they're also showing how they're reading them and how they're responding to them. First of all, Ishiwatari says that this game is not intended to be a continuation of the previous titles. The basis of our development is to create everything to be completely new. I hope you can keep that in mind as you read on, which is something that I'm totally okay with it. Make a brand new iteration of Guilty Gear, make a brand new experience. You have to make it attractive for new players. Guilty Gear has been niche for too long. If you want this series to blow up, you have to make it appealing to everyone. Don't make it a continuation. There's too much story involved in Guilty Gear. The story of Guilty Gear is too convoluted, too hard to understand. too complicated, make it a new thing, make it a good entry point for new players. I totally support this idea. First concern, the damage is too high. That's the top concern, huh? Alright. Central idea behind this title is that you can deal big damage without memorizing long combos as was required in previous games. This goes hand in hand with the idea of making Guilty Gear more beginner friendly, though at the same time, reading this and playing the game, it feels like they're trying to have it both ways. The game feels more complicated than before, but they made the damage this big so you can have smaller combos. But actually, no, like you're still gonna try to be optimal. It's just, it's way more technical to be optimal in this game. They made it more complicated while trying to make it simpler. And that's where I think they need to adjust their sort of vision. Like they need to figure out what they want. Because they keep trying to have both ways and they're pleasing no one so far. Mr. Katano adds, we made the damage extreme in the beta test to get that idea across. Before the game's release, we'll be adjusting it carefully by looking at player feedback and match results. So the damage was already going to be nerfed. It was exaggerated for the beta, which is wonderful news. It just means that their head was already in the same place as ours. They were just trying to convey an idea, though this idea that, oh, players don't understand that we're trying to go in this direction, so let's exaggerate. No, that's not how it works. We see the exaggeration, we think it's too much. I think the feedback was warranted, though I'm also happy that, you know, they also think it's too much. They did it on purpose. Concern, there are fewer Gatling combo routes. Gatling in Guilty Gear language means combo. I don't know why they call it a Gatling. In previous Guilty Gear titles, players could cancel many normal moves into their combo parts with relative freedom. In Guilty Gear Strive, we've made restrictions on this so that it's more difficult to combo into damaging moves from fast, small, normal moves. By doing so, we've introduced a greater emphasis on choosing which normal move you use to start your combo based on the situation and your goal at the time. Totally okay with this. Fast normals like a punch or a kick lead to small combo damage. Big normals like a slash or a heavy slash lead to big combo damage. Thing is, it's not simplifying the combo system like they claimed before, because now you gotta learn a starter for punches, you gotta learn a starter for slashes. That is on top of all the situational stuff of being close to the corner, mid-screen. How much meter do you have? All that situational stuff. This change makes it difficult to put experience from previous titles to use in Guilty Gear Strive, and we've heard many concerns and criticisms from fans of the series. In addition, we've heard the opinion that being able to get a combo simply by pressing each button in order made combos simple? What? Meaning that Guilty Gear Strive is more difficult. Oh, okay, I see. So in previous Guilty Gear games, you could just, you know, Gatling a combo, you could go from punch to slash to heavy slash, and now you can't go from punch to slash, which makes combos in Guilty Gear Strive more difficult. Ishiwatari adds, one important concept in this game is placing greater importance on choosing your moves based on your current situation. I do think it's more difficult in the sense that muscle memory won't really work, but there should be fewer mechanics for new players to learn before they can enjoy playing matches. I don't think that translates at all. See, this is my main problem with this combat system, is that they are trying to make it so new players can enter the game without having to learn as many mechanics, but they're making the game more complicated, making it a lot more situational. It's going to require a lot more awareness. It's going to require a lot of lab time practicing hit confirms. Oh, and not only hit confirms, neutral. You got to practice spacing. Like, what's your slash starter, right? If you press the slash button, what's your optimal distance for starting a slash combo? I really don't think this game feels that beginner friendly at all. Not in the beta. But I do like the concept of, yeah, choose your starter carefully. Don't just mash any button. If we think of it in terms of either gameplay being simpler to play in training mode or simpler to play in a match, I would say Guilty Gear Strive values the latter more. I disagree. In development, we've worked with the concept of making the choice and timing of each and every move important in order to create room for invention and technical challenge for advanced players while also shortening the length of combos and block strings. Yeah, make block strings and combos shorter, that's totally fine. What I really dislike is this dissonance that is going on. Of, yeah, it's easier for beginners, no? Even in the closed beta test, there were many combo routes available, this is true. Unfortunately, however, only a limited number of routes were effective due to the extreme damage. Our goal in moving forward with development, including our work on overall game balance, is to make a game where each player can have a distinctive playstyle. If they can pull that off, that is impressive. But I think at the end of the day, when you're doing a combo, you're gonna go for the optimal route. Unless the optimal route is super hard to execute technically, Like, you're gonna have a BNB, and everyone that plays Soul Bad Guy is gonna be doing the same combo. So yeah, your goal is to have different combos, combo freedom, and allow players to express themselves with a distinctive playstyle. Easier said than done. Next concern, the 3D camera movement disrupts the game pace. We've heard some players saying the movement gave them motion sickness. Really? Was that the problem? While working on improving this so more players can enjoy the game without unnecessary stress. Yeah, I guess you should. Wow, I didn't hear that. They have the surveys. They know better. I had no idea. Motion sickness, huh? Okay. We've also heard concerns that some camera work, such as the effect on counter hit, impacts the game's pace, player inputs, and visibility. Yes. This was the concern that I was thinking. And it does feel like, oh, you hit a counter hit, your timing is off. You can't convert into a combo. As previously mentioned, we are taking the survey results to heart and working on improving this so players can have a more comfortable and fun experience while still trying out new effects. Good. Like, I really like the visual effect of the counter. It's so impactful. I think as a spectator, it's really, really good. And I think they should really try to implement it as best as they can. But they need to do something to the buffer window of the buttons or whatever so players don't drop combos on counter hit because of that big pause. Concern, the user interface during matches. Okay, user interface was a controversial topic because it went from it's ugly to it's not functional. And I think sometimes those two different arguments got mixed, and let's see what they took away from it. We've made it so the burst icon moves as the health bar drains in order to minimize the amount of eye movement required to check each gauge. So this is the portrait moving along with the health bar reducing. I thought this would bother me a lot. It actually ended up not bothering me at all. It was very comfortable while playing. That said, some players have had this problem and they have reported it. I don't know if they're doing anything about it. For now, it just feels like they're justifying their choice and they didn't say that they're changing it. Not yet. The hit counter is so big because in previous games it's been difficult to see the number of hits due to being hidden by the character models or vice versa. This is an attempt at fixing that issue. No! Hits and combos don't matter. I mean, okay, sure, like it affects scaling and maybe sometimes you want to pay attention to them, but in a match, it doesn't need to take up the whole screen. It doesn't matter if they're blocked. The player knows how many hits they're doing. They've practiced those combos. Oh, that's a bad excuse. Oh, that's terrible. However, we've received many opinions looking critically at the user interface in terms of visibility and design. As of now, we are seriously considering everyone's comments, and our team is discussing these critical issues to create the finalized design. Ooh. Does this mean they're gonna change it completely? I wonder, like, I kind of like the clean look, but yeah, it's not a good UI. It's kind of a non-answer, isn't it? Yeah, we're looking at it. We'll make some changes. Like, how? How? Is it a complete redesign? Are you, like, making tweaks? What are you doing? Love to know. Next concern, the online lobby system has errors. Yes, the main error is it exists. Our plan during development, as with the rest of the game, is to create something entirely new for the online mode. Why? However, we ran into many bugs and other problems during the closed beta test. In addition to fixing those bugs, we'll be taking a new look at the matching system as a whole. Onegaishimasu. We are working to be able to provide everyone with a pleasant online experience by fixing these issues and creating another opportunity for you to try out the game. Another beta. New concern, the lobby's current design. Oh, okay. There's one thing I want to hear. Wild throw this goddamn lobby system in the garbage. I want to read the following words. We are rebuilding from scratch. That's what I want to read here. With Guilty Gear Strive, we're trying out a new design compared to our prior Arc System Works titles by using 2D pixel art, 3D avatars, and such. They're doing both. Okay. This venture was necessary to create new mechanics and fun that wasn't possible with 3D avatars we've used previously. Spoiler alert, the new experience and fun was also not possible with the 2D pixel art. While they weren't included in the closed beta test, we'll be showing them off at the next opportunity. Okay, 3D avatars are coming back. I don't like the 3D avatar lobby system, by the way. They're both bad. In addition, we've seen many opinions that the style doesn't mesh well with the world of Guilty Gear. In regards to this concern, we hope you'll keep on the lookout for new information, as we'll be showing you new designs that weren't included in the closed beta test. Why, Arc Systems? Why? What's wrong with the menu? What's wrong with a good old-fashioned menu where you join a lobby with other players, you can spectate their matches, you don't need this virtual space. It's been years, so many years of different lobby systems. We don't like your games because of the lobby systems. We like them in spite of the lobby systems. This does not have to be an Arc Systems thing. You can get rid of it. It will still be Arc Systems. Please. Oh god, they're keeping the lobby system. Oh, okay. Okay. Concerning the UI design, regarding the user interface in general, we've seen many comments that the design isn't rock enough. Rest assured, we will make it rock. Whatever that means. That's it for this one. There's another online event during Summer of Gaming on June 9th and the New Game Plus Expo on June 23rd. They have included a form which I'll also link down below. You can ask any question in that form, and I think they'll take like the most asked questions and answer them during these events. If you do fill out that form, let me know in the comments, what did you ask? Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I wouldn't know what to ask. Why are you so attached to lobby systems? Maybe that's my #1 question. But then they'd give you a non-answer, like, because our fans love them. No! Anyway, what would you ask? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye.